If you like this video, why not subscribe?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Frugal Filmmaker Tip of the Month. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about some practical lighting using floor lamps you can get in any department store such as Walmart for about $10 to $12. And the reason I came up on using floor lamps like this one here, that we'll talk about in just a minute, is that when I would do these intros or outros or talk directly into the camera, you may notice from a lot of my previous episodes I'd be sitting. And in order to light that, I have to put together my PVC light stands and attach my clamp lighting, get that all set up, have a backlight attached to a shelf usually, and then I would throw a 250 watt work light also on a PVC light stand on the background. We can imagine that setup takes a little bit of time to set up. In fact, it would set up in about 30 to 40 minutes. So that would take a while, and not having my own studio where I could leave all the lighting intact, I'd have to set up and tear down every time, which takes time. So I was looking for a way to do that quicker, but with equally good results. And so I started looking around my living room and my house to see what I could possibly use that was already there so I wouldn't have to take all this time setting up. And that's when I just noticed the floor lamps that we have. I have two of them. They're basically the same thing. They're these long standing lamps that have these skinny necks. And they end in a socket with a bowl-shaped white diffuser around them. And if you put them in the right position, they actually look pretty good. They're lights, you just have to know how to control them and where to put them. And notice this is my key light over here, fills in this side of, or lights up this side of my face. And then my fill light is about 4 feet away. This one's about 2 feet away. This is about 4 feet away. Same wattage, 100 watts, same exact lamp. They're about 6 feet off the ground. It works pretty well. Now, one light you don't see also that's acting as a fill is this light right above the camera. This is the ceiling fan light, which my camera is directly under, and if you turn that off, you can kind of see what happens there. It'll definitely lose a lot of fill. And one more light in the background is this light that's over my kitchen sink. And if I stand in front of it, notice the light kind of streams out of my head a little bit and separates me from the background. I'll go back here and turn it off so you can kind of get an idea what it looks like without the backlight. Now notice it's just a gaping black hole that I'm standing in front of, and because of my dark hair I sort of kind of disappear right into that black hole. So why don't we turn that back on? There we go. So all this is a simple tip about practical lighting. Look around you, see what's available, and if you kind of understand what to do with those lights, like I've sort of described, it's basically 3-point lighting that I've already done an episode on, you can take advantage of those things. Now the best thing about all this is that this setup takes me about 5 minutes. That's a big difference from 30 to 40 minutes, and the results are pretty much the same. Yes, the backlight, the separation on my shoulders and head isn't as nice as a literal 3-point setting where I've got a backlight shining right on my back, at the back of my head. But this 3-point lighting works pretty good with the fill and the ceiling fan and these two lights. It's not too bad. Now this is also the same exact setup that I actually would use now on my kitchen counter when I want to build things. You see that setup on the $1 budget, and also anytime I'm actually putting things together on a countertop, you see that setup. And all I did was I moved the two floor lamps and basically flanked my kitchen counter with them. And again, that takes about 5 minutes to set up, and I use this gray card here, which I've used in my perfect exposure episode. I showed you how to use a gray card to set the exposure properly for all these setups. And I've got a really fast alternative to my previous 30 to 40 minute setup. Now granted, I can't leave these lights in their position either. I got to put them back, but I'm just putting them against the wall where they light my living room at night. So this is a really great idea. You probably have a lot of these lights in your house, or you can pick them up cheap. These floor lamps are about $10 a piece, $10 to $12 at a store like Walmart. So they're readily available if you don't have any other kind of lights. And just, study the 3-point lighting episode, take these lights, experiment with them. If you move them around, you can get different effects. It just takes a little practice. So that's the Frugal Filmmaker Tip of the Month this month, and I'll see you in 30 days.